Hello everyone, and welcome to my RPG journal. Today we're continuing the story of Gabriel. Gabriel has just moved to the city of Flyer Ridge, the walled city around some kind of dungeon. We haven't established that yet. He is going there for a new life. He's planning to set up a shop. We started the game. So far he has met a few interesting people on his journey, made it into the city, found lodging at the Absent Jackals, a tavern owned by a dwarf named Gilcrom. He has gone to the Merchants Guild, and he has established what he needs to do in order to set up shop. He needs to get a license as an alchemist. He needs to find a shop and find supplies. So his first order of business is to find one of three people: Essence, Kelgian, or Carden Dreamfall, all alchemists who are in the city or around the city, who will be able to provide him with the accreditation he requires to get a license from the guild. So, we left off, he'd left the guild, nothing had really happened, and he had gone back to the tavern. It was getting late, it was dinner time. So, we start off seeing Gabriel walking into the tavern. It's now bustling with people as dinner is upon us. Outside is starting to get dark, and he walks in. There are people strewn around the tables, people sitting around the hearth, and now a couple of waitresses serving people, not just the owner. Grillcom. So he's going to organize food. I'll have to look back to see whether or not I have to do anything for money. So let's just create a note for myself to do did Gabriel food. So we need to establish if we've already paid for food if that was included in board. So I'll go back and do that later. And what Gabriel's going to do is going to talk to different people around and try and gather some information. Now, if you've watched from the beginning, you will have heard me say that I decided to run this with 3.5 as opposed to 5th ed. And the reason that I said that I was going to do that was for the skill system. So the difference between 5th ed and 3.5 is that in 5th ed, you just get your proficiency bonus to any skills that you have proficiency with, and anything else or anything that's not a skill is just a straight check, a straight ability check, unless you can justify why your character would have proficiency in it. And usually things like tools and stuff are there that you can have proficiency with. So in this character being an alchemist, we would have proficiency with alchemy tools, for instance, and thus be able to get a proficiency bonus plus a wisdom check or intelligence check or whatever it is I was doing. In 3.5, however, in 3rd ed, what you did when you leveled up was that you spent skill points in order to attain ranks in things. So instead of just saying you are proficient in something and getting a proficiency bonus that is used across everything on your character, you could actually create different skills and say I'm spending this many skill points per level in the different systems. So the skill list is a bit larger. So using the alchemy example, I've actually taken a craft skill, the alchemy craft skill, and spent points in that. So not only do I get to use my int modifier, but I also get the extra ranks from that. I get the extra ranks that I spent every time with every level. So not only do I get the intelligence modifier, but I also get the extra levels, the extra ranks that I bought with skill points at every level. So what we're wanting to do here is a gather information check, which I haven't actually spent any skill points in. It's just going to be straight charisma. Now, the reason that I chose to use this system, that I wanted to use this system, was simply because it creates more diversity with what I'm doing, and because I want the game to be more about character doing stuff that isn't combat. I'm going to be leaning heavily on that, and it would be a little bit boring if I either was just proficient or not proficient with something. This way I can get to be good at something over time and actually spend effort in particular locations. So my skill breakdown, some standard spellcaster stuff like concentration checks in this actually get a skill as opposed to just being a straight constitution check. Spellcraft, which is for identifying spells as they're being cast. Heal and alchemy are the two other major skills that I've invested in. Otherwise, I've been able to invest in various knowledge skills and a little bit in things like survival and spot and listen. It's because I wanted to open up a shop. I spent a little bit of a few points in appraise, which is the ability to appraise items. How much is this worth? That kind of thing. But I was able to do it as I was creating the character. Going, I started off here, and this is how he's developed, and so without getting too detailed into it, because I don't want to ruin his backstory and spoilers there. Not that I have a clear picture of what that is, just have some ideas. I've gotten a bit ranty, so let's just move on. So here we want to do a gather information check. Gather information is charisma, and I do not have any ranks. So straight charisma check to talk and gather information. And I'm just wanting to find out, what am I wanting to find out? Gabriel wants to know what the city's major news is. Is there anything going on at the moment? Is there anything that's going on that would affect sales? And I think that I'm going to do checks about the people to see if I can find out anything about the particular people. So I need to talk to either Essence Keljon or Carden Dreamfall. And I'm interested to know who are the characters that I'll probably ask about the pub. Is there anything interesting about the pub that I should know? And Traran Duskbender. Anything about Traran Duskbender? So Traran Duskbender was the merchant, the guy at the Merchants Guild that we talked to, who was a little bit cold, I think. So let's see, general news. How am I going to do this? Let's go and create a comment. We're going to rumors. So general rumors. This is a DC 10 check to see if we get anything, and then everything else will be DC 15. So we pass that with a 21. So we get to know probably two things. Let's go general. So we're going to find two things about general. Let's ask about the pub, the absent jackals. We're going to pass that with a 23. 22, I can count. No, that's... let's ask about the Merchants Guild, see if there's anything going on with the Merchants Guild. That's a 20 on the die, so let's get 2. How do I spell that? Let's say that one of the, let's go Merchants Guild, and we'll actually say because I rolled so well with, what did I say his name was? Traran. Traran Duskbender. And then we're going to roll 4. Let's see if we can find out about Essence. Ooh, so that's on the money with a 15. Kelgian. I do not manage to find out anything about Kelgian with a 7. But I do manage to find out about Carden Dreamfall. I don't beat the DC by enough to get very much information. So, now, the reason we stopped last time was because I needed to get some random tables to help me work out exactly what was happening. So I've had to scour the internet to see what kind of things I could find, and I've found a subreddit called Behind the Tables, which has quite a lot of stuff. If you want something very specific, which some of these we might use, some of the very specific tables, then it's quite good. I did have some difficulty finding some generic stuff. There was a lot of tables, rumor tables, that were all setting based. or sort of trying to do your very stereotypical, you go and fight the necromancer. So you find out about a necromancer or some other thing that is going to obviously geared towards giving the player plot hooks in a game where they're meant to go into a dungeon and kill some stuff. And it was a bit harder to find sort of generic tables for more random things that don't necessarily have to be things that I deal with. But general rumors, let's see what we find. Did you hear the news? My cousin told me about a noble, and they got drunk and discovered a sleeping monster. And now the king has decreed strange new laws. So that's interesting. A noble who got drunk and discovered a sleeping monster. The king has decreed strange new laws. Okay, so how does this work in our setting? So a noble got drunk. Do we know who the noble is? Don't know. Sleeping monster. What kind of monster? King has decreed strange new laws. So I don't think it's the king. I think it's who is in charge of our town. So we've got a couple of extra questions there. That we need to answer. So for the moment, let's just sleeping monster, the king, has decreed strange new laws. Let's not do that. Let's just go. No. Noble. So who's the noble? What is the monster? King has decreed strange new laws. Ruler. Leader. Type of government. King has decreed strange new laws. What laws? So, let's resolve the other rumors on the tables, and then we'll come back to that. So the other fat merchant was sleepwalking. And they discovered a suppressed truth about the ruling kingdom. A suppressed truth about the ruling kingdom. And now people are disappearing. Okay. That's interesting. We've got a few questions. We've got a few less questions about that, and that will probably make a lot more sense once we resolve the first rumor and start to find out about the government and the lay of the land, the political lay of the land. Now, the absent jackals. Now, we need a slightly less random. Ooh, tavern goings on. Here we go. Let's roll some of these. So games, contests, and events. We learn a bit about what's going on at the tavern. Dwarves drinking. So I think that okay. Drinking contest with a group of dwarves. The prize is a fancy stein. Entertainment. What kind of stuff is happening for entertainment? I do have a D12, don't I? Okay. 7 on that. Put those away. A stirring rendition of The Lady and the Fairy Dragon has the crowd calling for an encore from the minstrels. I'm just going to copy and paste that one in. It's what? Formatting. What else do we... oh, cool. I have to work out how to do that without manually doing it. There'll be a button that I haven't found. Patrons and staff. 17. What's a 17 on this? Behind the bar is a gnomish alchemist with a penchant for mixology experiments. All right, we're gonna change that up because we're already doing stuff with alchemy, and that would make well, so the gnomish thing we'll get rid of because that's just stereotypical Faerun D&D stuff. I'm not sure if we've got gnomes in this setting. That's an interesting question. But we can say that the young lad behind the bar mixes interesting drinks and is quite keen on talking to Gabriel about alchemy. Yeah. D5, questionable drinks. So what? That's a 4. Yeah, so that reroll a d6. That's wrong looking at the thing. So 6. Stonebones, powerful rum cocktail made with powder of gorgonhorn and totally partial paralysis. A powerful rum cocktail made with powder of gorgonhorn and basilisk eye. It's only partial paralysis. The young lad is. Let's get him a name. Actually, male or female, might be a young lass. It's a man. Human male name. Wolfgang. Wolfgang, the young lad behind the bar. Is that... whatever. Wolfgang, the young lad behind the bar, is mixing... does Gabriel drink it? Gabriel drinks it. Makes Gabriel a strange cocktail called Stonebones. He doesn't explain it. But hang on, does Gabriel work it out? So we'll go knowledge. Roll a knowledge arcana check, I think. And make that with a 23. Recognizes and basilisk guy in the ingredients. He mixes moving around was a bit difficult for the rest of the night. Paralytic. Drunk indeed. Cool. Schemes, mischief, and trouble. Now this is a D20. See, it's ladies' night, and the bar is a sausage fest. Oh dear. Okay, so a group of young ladies want to come out on the town of young ladies come in halfway through the night, trying to keep to themselves and have a good time. Okay, so that's an interesting little situation that we can resolve in a bit, because that's something that will be fun to get caught up in. And we'll go to do resolve event ladies' night. Oh dear, First night here and we're already getting caught up in trouble. But let's see, what do we learn about the Merchants Guild? We'll resolve drinking competition. So that got a little bit of fun to get up to there. Merchants Guild. Now, what happens with the Merchants Guild? What do we learn about that? Factions, groups, Merchants Guilds. Let's see what's in these. So, political plot. Now we're talking about the center of it is that we could use that. That's what I was just reading. Merchant caravans, merchant guilds. Okay, this one will do. Let's see how we go with this. So, a bunch of D8 rolls. The guild is controlled by 4. A council of heads of local crafting guilds. This is probably more to generate. No, I think we'll use it because it's more to generate what the guild is. But at the moment we don't know. So, we're finding out information about the guild itself. Merchants Guild. That's how you do that. The guild is controlled by a council of established shop owners. The guild illicit affairs. I think I rolled pretty well, so maybe we don't need to find out anything about. We don't need to generate a second rumor. This will probably deal with it entirely. Rampant corruption, large-scale bribery of various city officials, and contracts with the Thieves Guild, and occasionally an assassin. All right, I don't know about Thieves Guilds. I don't know that that's a thing in this world. But that doesn't mean you don't know some people. Maybe we've got a criminal group, like an organized crime group. So I'm thinking more instead of a Thieves Guild where all the thieves get together and run with a code of ethics, a code of honor, and all of that stuff that you get in your typical high fantasy stuff. Where I'm thinking more mafia type families, kind of thing, if at all. Or maybe you've got some kind of just small understanding between thieves and the city. Oh, we'll work that out. But whatever criminal group is, they're involved with that. So, this really fits our friend Traran too. Because if I remember correctly, he is not that fond of what I do. Well, if I do well, they might come after me. That's going to be fun. The guild status and control is Brand new. So the guild is brand new. Only set up in the last few years. They are trying to. Okay. So I need a license. So maybe I don't actually need the license. I need the license to be a member of the guild, but it sounds like there are a lot of merchants, a lot of established merchants are not actually buying into the guild, and they're trying desperately to. Maybe there's a bit of a power struggle. Maybe we've got a bunch of merchants have come together. We've got a council that's so some established shop owners decided they're trying to push out some other shop owners that they don't really like and trying to gain a little bit more power. So they're starting up this guild and they're trying to get buy-in. So we're hearing that actually, don't worry too much about them. They're a bunch of upstarts that are trying to. Are they actually established? Maybe the established shop owners are actually. Just going to delete that. Maybe our established shop owners are the holdouts. Maybe maybe the whole group is quite young, new to the town. Which raises some interesting questions about these three people I'm being sent to out. What is it what is their actual relationship with the guild? And maybe there are more than just the three. The guild's headquarters is the place that we've just been to, 5. An open-air pavilion centered in the city's bazaar. Okay. It's quite a nice little spot. Not what I wanted. Guild. Is an open in the city bazaar. Okay, so I'm thinking we've got less of a bazaar and more of a street, city main street. We go off the city main street and make it an arcade, open-air arcade. Brilliant. I don't think I need that anymore, so what we really need to know about is Traran. Oh, hang on, we've got a couple of other things. Minor quest. I think I'll roll a minor quest. So it's got an option for a minor quest, a standard quest. Minor quests are like make a donation of 500 gold pieces, rat infestation. That's actually a rift to the plane of rats or some similarly filthy location. City militia member getting nosy. Or what a standard quest looks like. Caravan gone missing. Yeah, that's major quests are planner, creature involvement, armies, big political stuff. I'll roll a minor quest and a standard quest. The minor quests are, caravans gone missing kind of thing, so we can hear about troubles and not actually get involved. I rolled the bloody rat in station 1. Okay, so plane of rats or something similar. So we're going to go with snakes. Rats? Nah, rats. It's a, your standard fantasy fare, so we'll go with it. Now, where do I... Rat sightings around the arcade. Now, I'm going to have to record some of this stuff elsewhere as well. I'll just leave it here for the moment. Portal to somewhere like the plane of rats. Standard quests. 1. Caravan has gone missing. Lucky. I came on the caravan. I did. It sounds like one went missing yesterday. Good to not get caught up in that. Not going to roll a major quest. That's not something that is necessary. Yeah, that's really not the kind of stuff that we're going to get. So, there's extra stuff in here for trading companies, shopkeeper, merchants. I think we're going to roll something political. Political plot. Okay. So the rumor for Traran. A prince or princess. A prince or princess. 8. Cousin. At the center of it all is prince or princess's cousin, who are trying to 12 force a war to start. Oh Jesus, we're going here already. 10 for we're trading favors for favors. And is motivated because they are being manipulated by a relation. They are being manipulated by a child. Okay, so you heard this from a foreign national with their own interests. Okay, now we've got some people that might fit here. So, what are you doing? Where are we? Micah Dreamfall. Okay, so I had an interesting chat. I had an interesting chat with Micah Dreamfall, who is also staying at the Absent Jackals. She was telling me about Traran being a cousin to so it makes him the nephew. If he's the cousin of a prince, then he's the nephew. PH. That looked wrong. Today we learned that I can't spell. It was telling me about Traran being a nephew of the Duke. So we need to work out what our town structure is like. I'm currently thinking about it being a duchy or something. But he's the nephew of whoever is there. Now he's a little bit older. Being a nephew of the Duke. His son, I swear that every time I have rolled in this game, almost every time I have rolled for the gender of a character, I have rolled a 3 on a d6. Son with a U, that makes sense. Traran's son, seen in neighboring state. Neighboring state. Traran's son has been seen in neighboring state. And has been acting quite hostile. I don't know how true this is now. Wanting to start a war to any delegation from there. Apparently done favors for people who are in opposition to them trading here. Mention that Micah is from this other country. So she's seen me again, talked to me, found out that I've been to the Merchants Guild, and is now going, oh, maybe I can use him in my political game. You met this Traran guy. Oh, well, we've had these problems with him. Let's see if we can bring you over to our side. So that is interesting. Just delete this. No. So now, how do I find out about Essence and Carden. What am I rolling for them? Let's have a look. NPCs. Ah, here we go. There's an NPCs thing for Alchemist. Otherwise, we're just going to go situation tables, subtables, factions. This is the thing with some of the stuff you find on the internet. It's not quite what I want, so that one's no good. Not quite what I'm looking for the Alchemist one. NPC random traits. This is good for generating a description for them. Flaws. I think I'm just going to cut those. We've been going at this for a while, and I do want to resolve these events that we've got, but I also need to go back and look at some of these rumors. So, going to take a quick break here, and we'll be back in, I guess, in another video for you who's watching. See you then.